Okay, everyone, it's 8:30. We're going to get started. We stand for the pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag, States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I look for a motion to approve today's agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Make a motion to approve the minutes for May 20th.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Carries. I don't think we had any payroll changes this time. Item number 5 is payout for Jerry Nickel. He's retiring. You guys got a moment to see that?
Yeah.
Okay. I would look for a motion to approve Jerry Eagle's payout.
Make a motion to approve Jerry Eagle's payoff.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? What's that? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I wish Jerry a great retirement.
Yep.
Meetings attended. Scott?
No, had a EMA budget amendment meeting where they had to adjust the budget for a radio that got left off the original quote. And then, I've been contacting Justin every week about that LP tank and he just can't get that guy to respond, so
No, why don't I work on a
Well-
different angle?
I, called Farm Service Tuesday after the meeting just to see if they knew anybody. And they go, yeah, we got our own crew. So he called me back, well, he was hesitant at first because they don't supply the gas. But he called me back and said, yeah, come out and look at it. So I met him out there
Okay,
and their top manager said that they would go ahead and get us a quote. There was like 3 or 4 leaks that we found, a couple of valves that should be on there that ain't on there, so they're supposed to be getting a quote in.
okay, good. That was a big argument that there weren't any leaks and you can walk out there and you can smell them.
Oh, yeah, he sprayed and just, immediately found them, so,
We get that stopped, we can save us that LP from leaking out into the air.
yeah.
Good. Awesome. That it?
Yeah.
Kevin?
Had a community action board meeting last week, pretty much status quo and dealing with budget cuts like so many are, and finding ways to utilize, get the same work done with less money. Went to P and Z last Tuesday evening, working on some language in the solar ordinance. There's a strong possibility that this new plant that they're building in the north end, as soon as it's done, is going to be bought by a public utility. And so that changes the game with bonding on the decommissioning. Something about they go through the state instead of putting the separate bond money aside like we require a private company to do. So we're working on the language in there to fit that, and working with attorneys and everybody else. So Wednesday, I had Mississippi Valley Workforce Development Board meeting. Same thing, they're standing a chance of losing one of their programs due to budget cuts. So they're trying to work on funding for that. Thursday, I had Southeast Ohio Regional Planning. They're working on more grants, got some coming to fruition. One of them's the downtown facades in Buffalo. They're also working on a grant for researching historical properties in Buffalo and Plum Junction. So other than that,
I did attend the downtown facade meeting too, and went through all that as a business owner, not as a public official, but, last week was a little messed up, so I had to reschedule a few meetings, and I'm sure that'll catch up with me later on down the road. Okay, item number 7 to Adam. Adam, what do you got for us?
Not a lot today. It sounds like the DOT, detour is gonna start next Monday. It's at 7, so that'll be closed, so a lot of traffic. It's gonna take a while for everybody to figure out where the detour is, and obviously we'll have some people who don't think they have time for the detour, and we'll take alternate routes, and we'll deal with that as best we can, so, on that.
Well, the detours, I understand, is coming through Columbus City off the White Way.
The official detour on 92, so if you're heading 92 east and west, they'll come down, jump on W66, go south to the White Way, past the quarry, X17, back into through Columbus City, past the high school, through Columbus Junction, downtown, back out to 92.
The shortcut.
The shortcut, right? Yep. So, you know, I mean, our county roads are as ready as can be. The DOT went out a month ago and did a bunch of patching and things like that on W66 and the White Way. So that's the official detour traffic, right? Like you've always got these, hey, I don't want to take that. I'm going to go through gravel. I'm going to go through this road. I'm going to go through somebody's alleyway or whatever. So that happens, and not a lot we can do about it preemptively, but we'll be on top of it as things happen. So that's going on there. Work crew guys, again, we're hauling rock, trying to get the last bit of the fiscal year done. Hopefully done next week with that, and then we'll have a couple weeks, and then it'll all begin again. So they're doing that. We got some other guys who are out mowing. A couple guys are out working on shoulders as well. So everybody's busy. Mike and Justin are out doing some spraying. There's some areas that they can spray that are around agricultural fields. So we're trying to get some brush done, things like that. So I did have the guys check out that X17 deal, and wasn't much to it. So
Yeah, but like it's a huge deal. So
Yeah. Sure.
That
So,
was past the informational.
Yep. So, so that's going on there. Office, we're working on estimates and things like that on the K Road Bridge has been passed off the DOT. We need to make a couple revisions on that, but that project's pushing along. And then we're working on alternatives and things like that for the Highway 89 overlay, which we only need 27. So
Is our salt shed in works here?
it is in the works. I don't know when they're going to start working on it, but
I got that in after July 1st, right?
yeah. So we got a whole bunch of tires to be moved as well. So we're trying to figure out if it's better to work with some sort of a dealer or recycler to come pick them up here, or just to take them to a landfill somewhere. So would ask that everybody please refrain from throwing tires in the ditch, because it is a cost to the county, whether it's a tire or a TV set or a bed mattress or whatever stuff, bro. It's not free, right? It takes manpower, it takes expenses for us. So that always seems to be an issue.
So the on-ramp coming southbound from Grandview has
Yes,
a lot of trash and garbage on the on-ramp.
that's not our problem. So.
Oh, that's
Yes, I was actually driving. I was driving back.
This is being recorded.
Call the item.
I was actually driving. I'm going, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing, you know, whether it's an accident or on purpose, there's nothing free here, folks, so nothing free. So, any questions for me out there? Anything going on?
No.
They're setting the beams at Newport today on the East Bridge.
Yep.
We saw that.
Yeah, I was up, around Columbus about 6:45, and it was there, so.
You need next number to call them when you see that stuff on the
Next,
61, Nick Wilkerson's.
no,
You got it.
that's all coordinated through construction people.
No, I meant when you see the litter on 61, you can call them
Oh.
and tell them about them.
Well, I know it goes that way a lot, so I take it he gets it, so. But if not, yes, I added number, so.
Okay, thank you, Adam.
All right, guys, thanks.
We'll move right along. Item number 8 is, public input. Anybody that's not on the agenda would like to address the board, they may do so. Anybody? No? Fletcher? No? Okay. All right, Kenny,
Not much going on right now in the EMA world, luckily.
that's good.
Still waiting for the EMPG grant to be approved for the portion of the EMA wages. The federal people have that all bound up right now. Waiting to hear back from Southeast Iowa Regional Planning, which is another portion of that EMPG grant on that hazardous mitigation plan to be renewed for the next 5 years. So I'm just reviewing those plans and updating those as needed. We'll probably start having a few meetings here sometime. We can either, I think Brad Quigley was the board of supervisor the last time it was done. I was on that committee, so we'll need to figure out which one of you guys would like to do that and kind of go on down the line. Probably one of the major things right now we're doing is the radio project for the sheriff's office, fire and EMS.
Yep.
We have about 90% of all the equipment in right now. Motorola was there last week with me and we did a walkthrough on how things will be installed in the back room at dispatch and out in the radio tower. July 31st, I go to the 3rd EMA class in Des Moines for the certification, and other than that stuff, I'm just paying bills and putting out 911 signs that Tim Coleman sends me and other people, making sure those are updated.
Scott mentioned they missed a radio.
No, so I didn't want to correct Scott,
Oh.
but, so that budget amendment was, last year, we'd only planned for 55,000 out of that line item to be able to pay for radio equipment. This whole project's 591,000, so we got all these bills coming in, we had to put that money in that account to be able to pay these bills. So,
I thought we'd approved a certain amount, but then it came in slightly above it because there was one radio.
so yeah, that was part of that.
Okay.
Yeah, you're correct with that. That was part of it, and then we had to get that money into that line item to be able to pay these bills that are coming in.
So I know Brian, when you were on the city council at the time, I think Brian would come into each city and update some emergency plan or something with the
Yep.
cities. I don't know if that's
Think-
time or not.
I think I have Oakvilles and Waplos that I've been going through as well, so. Yeah, it's on the agenda.
Yeah, I'm just trying to help you put all this together. I know there's a lot of stuff going on all at the same time, so. That it?
Yep, that's it.
All right. Well, with that being said, we're on to number 10, which is the public hearing for decommissioning plan number 6, our 3rd reading. So I look for a motion to open a public hearing.
I'll make a motion to open public hearing.
A second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're in a public hearing. Time for public input. Any written or oral comments?
No.
No? So this is, our 3rd reading of our decommissioning plan. This deals with mostly solar. I'll read it one last time, so those of you that are here can hear it. Item number 6 is the provision that the terms of the decommissioning plan shall be binding upon the owner or operator and any of their successors, assigns, or heirs. Any sale or transfer of management shall notify the zoning administrator no later than 10 days of sale or transfer. If they are to notify the zoning administrator, the special use permit can be rescinded and a new special use permit may be required. All right, with the final reading, I look for a motion to close public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're back into our regular meeting. And item number 11 is our 3rd and final reading of the decommissioning plan number 6 amendment. I look for a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion and second to approve the third reading of the decommissioning plan number 6 amendment. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay, item number 12 is our traffic code ordinance. Is our third one too?
Yes.
Okay. I look for a motion to open public hearing.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're in our public hearing for the ordinance 13-1, the adoption of the Iowa Traffic Code local ordinance. I'm not gonna go through this whole thing and read it because it's a lot of legal stuff. But those of you that have been here know that basically this allows our county deputies to write county fines and that we get to keep the majority of it instead of sending it all to the state like it's been done. Public input, does anybody want to address the supervisors on this? No? Okay, I'd look for a motion to close public hearing.
I'll make such motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, item number 13 is the approval and final reading of ordinance 13.1 Iowa Traffic Code local ordinance.
And then make a motion to approve that recording.
I'll second.
Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, we're on to item number 14, Chief Buffalo Days. Looks like they're gonna have another car cruise on the courthouse lawn on July 19th. I always keep it nice and clean, so. Somebody want to make a motion to allow that to happen?
I'll make a motion to allow to use the courthouse July 19th.
I'll second that.
Okay, discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item number 15, looks like Chris Hogue, is gonna be an alternate for the Board of Adjustment. You guys probably saw that email.
Mhm.
And, I guess I'd look for a motion.
I'll
to
make a
approve.
motion to approve the appointment.
I'll second.
Discussion? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, item number 16 is, resolution 202522. Establishment of a fund for the county attorney recovery money fund. Looks like you're gonna use fund number 0008. I didn't bring that copy with me from the computer. You want to give a quick brief on what that's about?
It's basically the attorney's share, from, how do you want to say, it's the recovery money that the attorney gets for like corporate court fees and things like that, and it's our portion that the attorney can use, but he can only use those funds for certain things, so we need to create the fund so he can have the, kind of the recording of the specific use for
Didn't
those.
I see delinquent funds on that too? In that paperwork? Going back with delinquent funds? I read it this morning, and I should have brought a copy, I'm sorry.
Another copy of the resolution.
Yeah. Always rely on the press. I'll go ahead and read this for you. It may be a little confusing, but at least you understand what we're trying to do here. The Louisa County Board of Supervisors recognize that the Iowa Code provides for the establishment of delinquent fine collection fund for the county attorney's office once the annual statutory collection threshold is reached. The Louisa County Supervisors does wish to continue the Louisa County Delinquent Fine Collection Program. A separate accounting of these revenues and expenses for this funding source is desired, as set portions of revenue are directed to be used by certain entities. The state of Iowa and Louisa County Attorney's Office and expenditures of these funds is restricted pursuant to the Iowa Code, and it is necessary for the county to accurately segregate and account for the use of these funds. So therefore, it is resolved that this fund shall be created called County Attorney Recovery Money 0008. The budgetary fund shall be subject to standard county practices and policies. All revenues and expenses starting with the 24-25 fiscal year shall be accounted for in this fund. Any fund balance in the general fund assigned is the county attorney's office portion of the delinquent court debt collected pursuant to the county attorney's delinquent fine collection program are to be deposited into this new segregate fund. That is a long sentence with no period. You gotta breathe a little bit. So I guess my question, is this general fund money, or is this for the county attorney in his own fund to do how he puts in his budget?
It's for the county attorney only, but he can only use it specific ways.
Okay,
It's,
that help. This one's clear in my mind too. I thought that was the way it was, but I just want to make sure.
kind of like the opioid fund for the sheriff. He can only
You
use
use
that
it for certain
specific ways.
things. Okay. I look for a motion to accept resolution 202522.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Mm-hmm.
If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. You can have your paper back. Thank you very much. Team to the rescue. You have to sign. Kurt? It's your turn.
Morning.
Morning.
Pretty normal month. We did go up a little bit. We are at 343,000 per month for, our county veterans. Budget is pretty much the same as it was last week or last month. Pending, I'll, looking at picking up a pamphlet rack for out front to separate the VA pamphlets from, Cindy's stuff. Make it a little bit easier for veterans to come in and get paperwork that they might be interested in. And then if the end of the year, my spending plan is to get more outreach items, pens and packets and whatnot to hand out at events. One change at the care center, we were down one from Columbus Junction. Fourth quarter there is no big change from last time as well. Next, this quarter for training, in July, I'll be going to Kentucky for a week. 2 trips, 2 requests with the van. Yesterday was Memorial Day ceremony. I attended here at Walk Cemetery as a guest speaker. It went well. And then still planning on taking vacation in July. Still trying to get the IPI to get us to communicate with me so I can get the signs. And that is, well, last thing is that tomorrow at the Briggs Center, we're gonna have a big group there in conjunction with the mobile food pantry. Agencies from all over the county and from Burlington are coming up with the workforce van. So looks to be a busy day tomorrow. Any questions?
Should be good, I think.
I think so. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Item number,
I wasn't sure that he was gonna be able to make it.
Okay. all right, item number 18, we got some discussion regarding petition for a special election. Randy?
And Al wasn't able to get here today. He's in Des Moines. He has 2 meetings with the governor today to discuss things that might enhance Louisa County and other counties to make them better. And we kind of wanted to get this started. That's. Now. You want to talk? That didn't happen here. What we want to do is start the process of electing 5 supervisors. Sean, you've made the comment that you were over exhausted with, meetings that you have to attend. Yeah, but I think, 2 weeks ago, or maybe it was last week, you said you had 4 or 5 meetings to attend last week. By having 5 supervisors, this would, relieve some of you guys' duties and give more opinion. And I do have some reasons here for why we need 5 supervisors. A couple weeks ago, or was it last week, Kevin, you made a motion and it wasn't seconded?
Mhm.
And that was controlled by, could you have seconded that motion, Sean?
Yeah, I couldn't.
So that was controlled by 2 people. If we'd have had 2 more people, that would have given that power to 2 more people, maybe get your second made there. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, in a small county like this, we have a lot of people that are on the board that are related to people that work for the county. And 2 more people might cut some of that out, some of that stuff. I don't think there's been any members that have, or supervisors that have made appointments in Des Moines to go talk to Debbie Durham about looking for industry in Louisa County. And that, you know, I think you guys should be on a first name basis with her to do that. In the audit, there's footnotes that I think that need to be addressed. And you haven't been able to have a meeting where you've talked about the audit and how to address some of those items that the auditors have listed there. Our supervisors, nothing against anybody, but you're all within 5 miles of each other. And that doesn't give the northern part of the county any representation, whereas if we were broke down by districts, that would be more equal representation. You guys aren't able to meet with each other between meetings and discuss things, and that's definitely, I think, is something that you should be able to do. If you had 5 supervisors, at least 2 of you could get together. And Sean, as the chairman, you could meet with all the other 4 members between meetings and get some things
You
discussed.
gotta be careful with that, because that still constitutes an open meeting.
But you're smart enough to know what to do and what not to do. I mean, I give you credit for that.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah. So we thought we would, maybe get a petition and call for a special election, but upon digging into this a little further, this has to be done at a general election, okay? You guys can take care of this by making a resolution to put this on the general election in November of 26. Have a resolution, and then there's some other paperwork there that Adam would have to take care of, this and that. You can do that if you want to do it. Otherwise, we will petition that to be put on that general election for 5 supervisors in the 26th November election. So we would ask that you would, you don't have to do it today, but we would ask that you would consider putting that on the election for November of 26. Is there any objections to that, anyways?
Let the voters decide if they decide.
Exactly.
Well, how much would that cost the county?
You would add 2 more supervisors, so 60 grand, 70 grand.
Unless you reduce the salaries,
No, that's true.
because your duties would be reduced. So,
Unless you took all the supervisors pay and divided it by
5,
5 instead of 3. I guess that's one way of doing it.
and take the insurance out of it too, so.
It does, I will admit, it does create kind of a strange thing sometimes when the small community, we go to a wedding and Kevin and I are at the same wedding. And even though we're over in the corner, maybe talking about the weather, everybody sees you and they assume that you're talking county business when you're not. So that is a concern of mine, that we can't be within a stone's throw of each other outside the meeting. Even pulling up and getting gas. We just happen to be at the elevator getting gas at the same time, and people drive by and there you go.
Yeah,
That stinks.
And you guys, you know, you handle a lot more money than any of the cities. And you're in charge of a lot more people and departments than other cities, and they all have at least 5 members on their city councils.
I agree, I think Waffles gets 7.
They might have, yeah, but everybody has at least 5, and school boards do too.
It's, it would be nice to have a broader discussion on some things that may be a bit contentious. That would be nice to have that. I don't know how you fit in you know? I see some negatives to it, of course. Costs, but like you said, if you divide it up, right? There has to be some amount of compensation for this because these positions you do put up with a fair amount of. negativity
Yes, expenses,
and
I
crap,
understand that,
and,
yeah.
it's something that we'd have to discuss with the board, and I don't have a problem putting it on the ballot, and if the citizens decide they want to, that's what we're here for.
Well, I guess our committee would ask that you, give this some consideration and,
So they'll have to get a signed petition, and how many?
we don't have to have a signed petition from the council or the board to do this.
Yeah, if you guys do it by resolution, I don't need.
Yes. And I'm not asking you to do that today,
Yeah.
okay?
Right.
I just, I don't want to let this drop. We've talked about this before. We talked about this in the meetings when we had supervisors candidates forum. So,
Well, don't you think you should have the costs and everything figured out before you decide whether you're gonna put it on a ballot?
Well, I don't.
I mean, I wouldn't vote
And
for
I-
anything, not knowing what your salaries and insurance are gonna be.
Yeah, we're not here doing it today.
to get the ball rolling is what we want to do. There's, Lee County has 5 part-time supervisors at $29,000 apiece. And they are, what are they, about the 22nd county, highest county in population for the state of Iowa. We're 71 right now. So,
What's Des Moines have and Muscatine have?
Des Moines County has, they've got 3 supervisors at $42,000 a year. Muscatine has 5 at $30,000 a year. So,
Benefits.
I don't know about, they're listed as full-time supervisors alone. You guys are listed full-time. for some reason.
And I disagree with that. I think if this is a part-time gig, if you ask me, I don't think it's a full-time.
It's listed with ISAC, it's the 3 full-times. So anyway,
Okay.
I asked for some consideration of this and, not let it drop. And that's all I have. Thank you.
I'm sure you won't let it drop. Okay, before I ask for adjournment, does anybody want to address the supervisors any further? No?
Well, you're gonna get more information on it, and dollars would be, if it stays going on quiet. This is.
Okay. All right.
Sure,
All right. Motion for adjournment.
How much that motion?
Also, any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, for adjourned, thank you.
Mhm.